So Tarl, let's wrap up, man. We're gonna put you on the hot seat. Let's put Tarl on the hot seat. On the hot seat, Tarl, answer these questions for me as quick as possible for me. Starting over, what would you do differently?
That's
something different with that $100,000, huh?
I don't know. I did a lot of cool stuff with it, but I would honestly, looking back, most of what I would change, I can't say I would change much that's real estate related, more mentality related in my 20s. But if I really had to figure out, if I can go back in time to 2021, I said 2011 and 2012, oh my gosh, like there's just such a difference there. But I would do better with my finances. Like that's probably, if I wanted to wrap it up, is I would do a lot more energy and effort to make myself personally financeable at a much younger age, for lending purposes and so forth. I would do better at documenting my finances when I was younger, and for tax purposes and so forth, and tax returns. When you're getting to the next level with real estate, having strong financials, not just for yourself, but for your businesses, is really important. And it makes your life either living hell or super freaking easy. Like when it comes to financeability and just like being able to be a grown up in the business, basically. So I would do better with that. That took me a few years to figure out. And then when you flip houses, you're just stacking cash, but maybe you're forgetting about the whole like documenting stacking.
Right.
So there's that part. But in reality, I would keep more. Like I think there's very few house flippers that are out there that would say that they wish they continued to sell every single thing they had. Like most of our big regrets is I wish we kept more of what we had. I didn't have a rental until 2016 after 4 years of doing 500 plus homes.
Well, Tarl, it's interesting that you say that, because a lot of times when we get into real estate, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, I don't want to have to work for anyone. I want to be able to sit up on the beach and live the lifestyle that I want to live. And the majority of that come through the passive income through the rental properties. But a lot of times we get in and we say, yeah, I want to flip 500 properties. I want to wholesale. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then when we look back, we say, man, we wish we would have just kept 50 of those houses that we flipped.
10, whatever, like any of them. So like, it's definitely, one of the big things I would do differently is look at it. And look at it through a different lens. Lens. And see, I saw a flip and that's all I saw, right? I didn't see, there's so many developments that we sold that we didn't know we had. There's so many amazing burrs that we didn't know what that was, right? Just countless. And for the quick cash, because that looked cooler at the time.
That looked cool. Yep. All right. What do you think is one characteristic every high producing investor needs to have?
Humility, and when it comes to their mistakes, like it's being able to be self-analytical. In my opinion, I'm very big on self-awareness and just knowing what's my fault, what's not my fault, and what can I control. But not everybody will agree with me on that. I know some very successful people that don't even know. They couldn't even like look at their own hand. They have no self-perspective whatsoever. Like, so, and they're very successful at what they do. They're just like, they have no self-introspection. Like it's all external. So I can't say that's really important. I think that's more important to have a stress-free life, right? In my opinion, but I'm more big on that than anything.
Gotcha. All right. So you gave us one book recommendation. You said The Soul of Money. Any other book recommendations that you would refer?
Yeah, I don't read real estate books, just a full disclosure on that. But for all my books would be definitely more of personal development than anything else, and leadership. But Extreme Ownership by 𝒔𝒂𝒊𝒃𝒆 is definitely up there as far as good leadership books. 4-Hour Work. If I had to say my 3 system books, like if you had to read these 3 books and do what they say, then you will know exactly how I run all my businesses, which is The One Thing by Gary Keller, which got really honed in on me, like how to focus on what's the very most important thing I need to be doing in my business at any one time and what I'm most effective at. The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, which got me to think more on how do I get other people to do stuff, systems, processes, to be able to be a lot more creative with, I only have 2 hours to work this week, right? How do I get everything done, right? In the project, like thinking really hard on that kind of stuff. And if it was simple, what would it look like? That was a good question that I got out of that book. And the last one is the Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande, which he is actually a orthopedic surgeon. And it's an amazing book. Now, it's not like this is how you make a checklist. Like, it's actually a journey of how like one checklist completely saved thousands of lives in the medical industry and stuff like that. Like some simple 5-point checklist that got created, and how that whole process happens, and how you simplify the heck out of basically SOP into a very simple process. So we took those 3 books, or over the course of years of like going back to them, reading them, doing whatever. And that's my brain when it comes to our real estate business, is those 3 books.
All right. Interesting. So guys, I'll make sure I have all of that information in the show notes so you can go and pick up those books that Tarl recommended. So Tarl, how can we get in touch with you? How can we follow you? How can we find you and see what you're doing, man, and be a part of your community?
We do a lot of events, but lately we haven't been because there's this weird thing going around in the world. But but in reality, like my Instagram's always a good one, at Tarl Yarber. You can follow me there. I'm not the best at it, but I'm getting better at it. And we do post some of our houses there every now and then. But it's right now, if you just go on there, you just see me doing jiu-jitsu with Brandon. But for and my kid. But we do definitely, we're ramping back up all of our social media again. 𝒓𝒂𝒕𝒆, we do a lot of videos for 𝒓𝒂𝒕𝒆 YouTube channel. And we're doing about 1 a week right now again. There's a lot of past videos that you guys can watch on our deal analysis. And we do a lot of property walkthroughs, where I'm like, here's a house, like we literally bought this. Let me show you how we did it. Those are really good. In my opinion, they're the best videos ever done. But in reality,
obviously,
they're all long though, 45 minutes plus, because we go into depth on each one of these projects.
That's good. That's good.
And I don't hide anything. So it's like, this is the BS. This is the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. So definitely check those out if you want. But Instagram's always a good one. You can direct message me. I'm not the best at it, but whatever.
And then you're still doing the Pacific Northwest, like
Big Badass Real Estate Wealth Expo.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was the largest West Coast conference for real estate investors in 2019, specifically for investors. And 2020, we did a virtual. We had 1,800 people at the virtual one in 2020. We're not going to do one in 2021, and we plan on relaunching it in early first quarter of 2022. And here on the West Coast again, it's national conference. We just call it the PNW. We're going to probably change it just to the Big Badass Real Estate Wealth Expo, so that way people don't just see it as PNW. But BPCon, 𝒓𝒂𝒕𝒆 has their conference coming up in October. We're going to be at that.
I'll be there.
We'll just go to that instead this year, because we living in Maui right now. We're going to come back. And with all the restrictions that have been going on out there, we don't want to have a repeat for ourselves with what we had in 2020, with having to launch this 1,500 person conference and then all of a sudden like almost lose our ass when all the restrictions happened in 2020. So I don't want to do that again. I don't need that stress, right? So I'm all about like chilling on the beach right now and scuba diving. So we'll reapproach that early next year. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll announce that, of course, through our Instagram channels and everything.
All right. Well, perfect. Tarl, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for being on the show. I know that people got a lot of takeaways here, especially with the systems and processes. Again, we didn't even intend to go down that road, but I think it was really, really good because I actually gleaned a lot from it. I'm sure everyone else gleaned a lot from it. So in parting, real quick, Tarl, what are some words of encouragement that you can give some investors out there that are either struggling to get up and get going or that's pivoting? What words of encouragement can you share with us?
I think that if you hang out with me long enough, you're gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna start asking you about what you really want in your life and like what you really want to do, and who gives a shit about anybody else and what they want, right? Meaning figure out what you want. And if don't pay attention to society, don't pay attention, turn off the freaking news, like don't watch that shit. And just be more in tune with yourself and your family, and by I mean your immediate family, not your extended, because they can pull you down. But and what life do you want to live, right? And be okay with that. If you just want to sit around watching TV all day and that would make you the happiest person in the world, cool. What are you stressed out about? Go do it. Like, so like, oh, but everybody will judge me. Fuck that. Sorry. Who gives a shit? Like, just go do you, right? And you'll be surprisingly happy, and get rid of all those people in your life that are pulling you down. Like, why even be around them? There's a great quote out of Rich Dad Poor Dad that I say to this day all the time. If you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you. And it's, don't surround yourself with people that bring you down. It doesn't matter if they've been your friend for 20 years. If you're on a path and that person's dragging you down, why are they in your life? So it's now if you're the asshole in the relationship there, that's different, right? That's where that self-awareness is. Right? But like, because you can be kind of if you're the jerk, then you're the jerk. But there's a nice way to do it. But But the situation is, it's your life. You only have so much time. And so figure out what to do with it and be happy with it, and don't care what other people think with your choices, and do it anyways, because you'll be surprised at how many people will be inspired by that and will ask you, how are you doing that? And when you're the happiest person in the room, because what I've learned about happiness is that you don't need to add things on to be happy. You have to let go of things to be happy. And release them and be like, oh, I don't need all that shit. I'm happy today, right? And so if it's a deeper conversation for sure, but you're not going to be where you want to be in life, right? In my opinion, if you don't, one, be honest with yourself. And so with what you really want, not for other people, but for you. And so, and that's all I want people to do, is be themselves. That's it.
Okay. You guys heard it from Tarl Yarber right there. Be yourself, be honest with yourself, know exactly what you want, and then create a plan in order for you to get there. Close out all of the noise, and you will definitely get there. So Tarl, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for being here. I'll let you enjoy the rest of your day, because I know you have plenty of things to do, like scuba diving and surfing and things like that. So
good times. Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you so much, man. And guys, you know what to do. You got the instructions. Get out there, take action, and remember to always enjoy the journey.